Please welcome Neta Meidav from Volt Platform. Thank you, Neta.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Neta Meidav. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Vault Platform. I got the dubious honor of being the lady who runs the presentation that separates between you and the rest of your day, not to mention lunch. I just want to reassure you, I feel the weight of the responsibility on my shoulders, and I'll be using the slot as, being prompt and efficient as much as I can. So a little bit of background about myself. I'm an Israeli based here in London. Up until 18 months ago, my interest in the wonderful activities happening here under UK-Israel business has been mostly because I was a civil servant in Her Majesty's government I had a decade-long career in government, and my latest role, I was working for the Department of International Trade, running the Israeli and European desks for capital investment. Actually, the title was Europe and Israel by that order, but a girl can have her impact on her title. And so if you were to invite me to this conference, Hugo, 2 years ago, I would be interested because of my job in government. I never thought I will be an entrepreneur. Actually, I thought it was quite cool to be the only Israeli in town not running a startup. That was my edge. That was my differentiator. But here I am. And I would like to talk to you today about how to build a culture of trust and how to overcome barriers of trust and culture in the workplace with technology. So the workplace is changing, and there is a very big question whether we're ready for that. There are many ways in which the workplace is changing. Some of them have been definitely mentioned here today. If it's the issue of learning and development and going digital. But I want to focus today on one of the ways, an earthquake that started 18 months ago and is still sending shockwaves through the world of work. That was also very much the starting point of our company, Vault. And I'm talking, of course, about Me Too. This is it. Harvey Weinstein dominated the news about November 2017. And ever since, every day we woke up to hear about additional company or executive who failed women, failed minorities, failed the LGBT community, failed their people, really, above all. For the first time, getting it wrong on culture came with a very, very serious price tag. For the first time, that price tag was not just paid or borne by the individual themselves who suffered from bullying, discrimination, racial discrimination, harassment in the workplace. For the first time, corporates starting to really feel the price that is associated with getting it wrong on culture. And it really affects, since then, everything from CEO tenure to share price. We learned how common is this problem, how prevalent it is in workplaces, the fact that it cuts through and cuts across every industry and every sector, and that really these kind of behaviors exist everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. Here's a fun space fact. Easy already, still the first fun space fact for the day. But here's another one. NASA is gearing up to the first manned mission to Mars. And one of the largest challenges that NASA is dealing with is not the technology, but actually is getting the best organizational behavioral psychologists working with a team of astronauts being sent to space, because the biggest challenge is how to keep this group of 12 people, the world's most capable, most intelligent people, astronauts, from killing each other in space, because you send 12 people to space together for 17 months, and that is the kind of, someone will be bullied and someone will be harassed, and that are the kind of behaviors that you will get. So the fact is that these behaviors really are everywhere, but instead of viewing them as a challenge, Our role is perhaps to view them as an opportunity. And it's an opportunity because for the first time, now finally, culture is center stage, and diversity is center stage, and equality really is center stage. CEOs are finally being asked by their employees and their shareholders to pay attention to culture, diversity, and inclusion. Let's take a closer look at why. Well, shareholders and employees alike are asking their leadership whether they're ready for the next acquisition deal. Because guess what? Wall Street has just added the Weinstein Clause to a growing number of M&A deals, effectively forcing what is now known as social due diligence. 15% of all the M&A deals on Wall Street in the tech, media, and entertainment industries in the last 12 months had a Weinstein Clause attached to them. What that means is that companies now have to prove, as part of due diligence, how are they performing on cultural issues in order to complete the acquisition. Employees and shareholders alike are asking leadership whether they're taking all the steps necessary to avoid the next global walkout. And if they already had a walkout, they're asking their CEO, well, what are you doing to fix the problems that we obviously have in the company? Employees and shareholders alike are asking their leadership, if there is a problem with culture, what is the safe channel that our employees have to speak up? And would the company listen? If I will speak up, will the company listen to me? In Uber, getting it wrong meant $10 billion were wiped out of shareholder value. So coming back to that point of price tag, there's a pretty hefty price tag for you. So by creating these solutions, by creating safer environments for employees are also want to trust their employer to rise above words, actionless campaigns, or that token nomination to the board. They want solutions that feel like it's 2019, not 1959. And I chose this image specifically because this is how we visualize the industry that we ourselves at Vault Platform are disrupting. The anonymous hotline providers who are actually a multi-billion industry that hasn't seen any change and any technological advancement in the last 50 years. So this is what happens when leadership cannot think outside of the box. But luckily, there's a new category of products that are trust-enabling technology and trust-enabling products. Technology cannot solve it all. There will be issues that will be left to human interaction, but technology helped to spread this movement that was essentially a pivotal moment in the history of women and minorities, of working women and working minorities. And it will also have an important role in providing the fixes to this problem. People are asking, whenever they ask us to describe what category is it that we're in, we say it's an exciting one. That's what it is, because there is this huge new category of products that are meant to build trust, reduce the friction between corporate and between employees, while protecting people's data and giving them ownership even inside their workplace. We've created Vault because we envisage a world where every employer and their people can be the best version of themselves. Our tech allows employees to store safe records in their own private diaries or vaults and speak up to their employer with confidence and confidentiality. We believe that by creating a healthy environment for speaking up internally, it leads to more trust and to a better culture. Our technology can actually connect the dots on repeating patterns of harm, and it's not limited to behavior such as harassment or bullying or discrimination. It is open to capture things like corporate and financial fraud, supply chain fraud, and anything else that is difficult for the employee to talk about. By doing so, companies get to create a new connection, more accountability towards their employees, do right by their employees, and at the same time be on top of really harmful patterns that can be tomorrow's news and cost them a fortune. So hopefully we're doing our share to make sure that newspapers would finally have other things to talk about. And we wish you all good news as well. Thank you so much.